All right, so if you want to get n8n working on your computer, the quickest and cheapest way is to use Docker. So if you don't have Docker installed, you'll want to head over to docker.com and click on the Download Docker Desktop button. They have it for all the major systems there: Mac, Windows, and Linux. If you have a standard Windows computer, you'll want to use this one that says AMD 64. So you go ahead and download that. I already have it installed. But when you're in Docker, this is what it looks like when you start it up. So the next thing you'll want to do is click over here where it says terminal. So you'll click on that, and then you'll want to pull the image for n8n. So you'll type in docker pull n8nio slash n8n. Now what this will do is it'll go to Docker and grab all of the information to run n8n on your computer, basically installing it. So we'll just give this a minute to run. Okay, once that's done, we can go ahead and close that terminal window. And if you go over to the images, you should see the n8n image. But before we run that, we need to make one little change. We need to come over here to volumes and create a volume, because what happens in a Docker container is once you start a container, you're basically running like a mini version of this computer or of this program. And anything you do and save in there will only exist while it's running. So if you reboot your computer, then all your data is gone. So what you want to do is create a link between that container and your hard drive. And that's what creating a volume does. So we'll click on create a volume. We'll give it a name. In this case, I'll just call it n8n data. It doesn't matter what you call it. And hit create. And now that's good to go. We can go back to images, hit that play button, and we'll get this pop up here. And we have some settings we need to change. So if you click on that, you'll see this first section called ports. So the container itself, n8n, basically uses port 5678. So just like the hard drive, you need to tell your computer to allow access to that port. So we can just type in 5678 here, and that will mirror the port that's in the container. And then for the volumes, we want to put in the name that we created there. So n8n data, I believe is what I called it. And then for the container path, so n8n data is where it's going to be on your computer, and the container path is where it's going to be inside the container. So there's a very specific path that we need. So we'll just type it out as /home/node/.n8n. So it's very important that you get this right. So /homes/node/.n8n. And that's basically the folder inside the container that's going to keep all of your data. So once we do that, we can go ahead and hit run and give this a minute to boot up. And now you can see here on the bottom, it says it's now accessible at this IP address or at this location. So if you click on that, it'll start up. You can go ahead and punch in your email, first name, last name, and a password, so that this will be your admin account. So go ahead and click next. It'll ask you this. You can just ignore that. And then this part here, it says get paid features for free. I recommend doing this because you get a lot of nice features you don't have to pay for. They just want your email address so that they know you're using the product. I'm just going to skip it for now. So then I'll just create a new workflow, and I'll add the initial trigger, say like on chat message. We'll click that and then click this, and we'll just send it to an AI agent, for example, right? So then I'm just going to go ahead and save this and go back to the home page. Now you can see my workflow is there. And just to give an example, I'm going to go ahead and stop this container. And now you can see that the container is stopped, it's exited. So if I try to refresh this page, we're going to get an error because the program is no longer running. So if I go ahead and start it back up, you'll see down here in the logs when it's ready to go. There it is. So if I refresh now, I don't even have to. It comes right back up. Our workflow is still there. Our data still exists. So that's how you get running with this on your computer, n8n. And yeah, it's pretty easy.